Hello and welcome. It's Catherine Colas here from Simply Hormones. And as you know, I'm nearly always talking about menopause. But while we've all been locked down with COVID-19, I've been talking to a variety of experts on all sorts of different things. And today my guest is Ladey Adey of Pink Parties Press. She's an independent publisher and author, and she's going to be talking to us about the world of publishing, and perhaps it might be something that you might like to try but hadn't known where to start, and I think we've got a good place of starting here. So welcome, Ladey. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. And I forgot to mention my book.
Yay!
That Ladey helped me publish, How to Survive Menopause Without Losing Your Mind. And that was such a thrill for me to do. So when we were on lockdown, I thought, who can I interview to talk to about a variety of different things to make it a bit more interesting? And of course, you popped up straight away. And so tell us about Pink Parties Press, about the books you have already published yourself for your audience, and take it away.
Thank you. Well, I genuinely believe there is a book in everyone. And my journey into the book business started quite a way back, actually, back into the 1990s, when I was a typesetter for a company, for their department, and I used to typeset their manuals. Then I moved on and did other things in my career. Then something happened, and I was CEO of an organization which went pear-shaped. And from that, I decided I was going to write my first book. And I wrote the book called Unfrozen, which is this one, published by an American publisher. And from that, and I learned how I like to be treated as an author. And they did a great job on showing that. But also, they showed me that publishing had changed enormously, much easier to get into it. And my second book, I went to a different publisher and discovered that actually I knew more than they did. And I was paying them for the pleasure. Yeah. So our third book, and by this time my daughter came on board with me, Colouring.
Yes.
101.
Fabulous. Yeah.
And we actually formatted it in Canva, do you believe? Wouldn't recommend it, but that's what we did with that book. But we did it ourselves, and then we discovered there's far more to publishing than we ever thought, but we got the t-shirt. We then went on to some children's books, so the Little Unicorn series was born. And we went on to InDesign to do the typesetting correctly.
Yes.
And then we suddenly thought, actually, if we can do it, so can other people. And then other people said, well, actually, we can't because we haven't got all the skill set that you've got. But what we could do is say, okay, then, you know, we've got the t-shirt, we'll show you the t-shirt, we'll do a mentoring program within our publishing so that you can learn how to do it. And then the bits you want to do, you can, the bits you don't want to, you know, we can do for you. And that's when we took on other people. So this book by Sue Glover, who is a former member of Manfred Mann. This book, which was a memoir book about the National Service. We did that book. This was somebody's faith journey. She does lots of stitches all through her life. That's her lady there, Margaret. All through her life, she did stitch pictures, that kind of thing. Some from a kit, some from just doing it herself. And so that book was her book. And I've typeset for other people, all kinds of things, but I get so excited about the actual books. When I talk to potential authors, it's what's in their heads, and it's, for me, the excitement is taking something from nothing that is just an idea, purely an idea, and then at the end of the day, producing something like yours.
Yes.
You know, your book, which will then go into the hands of readers, and you don't know who's going to read this, and yet it can change their lives. And that's what books to me do. They're either your friends, as in the non-fictions, or they're non-fiction, which help to make a difference.
Yes, yeah. And I find that when I'm talking about my book to people, and they ask me, oh, well, how did you start? And I tell them about what happened to me and how it all began and how I met you, etc. And then sometimes they say, well, I've had thoughts. I really would like to write a book about my life because certain things have happened that I'd like to get down in print. And so I've been recommending you all over the place, because I think the way you can bring it together, you gave me a lot of freedom. You gave me a chart of a beginning date and a publishing date, which did slip because I was so busy with menopause and Simply Hormones. But I kept the end date, and for that was very important to me, because I thought if I let that slip, I'm a goner. It's never going to get finished. So it's very important to have that strategy and that timetable, to know what you're doing and how the other bits slip into it. And again, if I'm not, if I don't have that ability, then I can ask you, or if I do and I still don't want to do it, I can ask you. So there's it's very much a collaboration, isn't it? And Abby helped me with my editing. She read through the book. I had some outside editors as well, or readers rather than editors. And you need that different perspective, because people just looking at the words to see where things make sense.
It takes a village to produce a book, as they say. But for me, it's keeping the control, that the author has that control. I think because we were authors first and then publishers, I want my authors to always feel that they've got control over what the cover picture is going to be like. They've got 100% of the royalties coming to them. And so much that actually gets slipped with the big boy publishers. I want to do it in a different way. And in that way, it's very much, as you said, what would help this person to get that book out? What can I do to make it really happen? And for it to be a really, it can be quite a hard, tough thing, but I'm the person to be accountable for. So I'm either with, got the whip out or the boot out, or I've got the carrot out. But I don't mind, as long as it means that the dream of writing a book actually happens.
Yes, and if anybody wants to find out about that process, you've got a good website that has got everything set out on there, haven't you?
Yeah, LadeyAdey.com, and I've got a few PDFs which are free on how to start writing your book, because that's the biggest thing. Just start anywhere, just start, and then the rest can follow.
Yes, I think that's brilliant. As you know, I'm trying to keep these little chats to a reasonable timing, and I think on that note, if you'll stay on the line and we'll carry on talking, but I think on that note, that's make a start is a good point to finish. And thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ladey Adey of Pink Parties Publishing, and I'm sure we'll have another conversation again on another time.
Thank you.